So catch me if I fall.
Hey family, boom, 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 boom. Welcome back to Perspective with Itu. And today, yet again, we have another phenomenal guest here for you who will be sharing his perspective, live on great things, on fun. And we are going to have an amazing conversation. And I hope that you guys really do enjoy it. Ooh.
Speaking of perspective, I just wanted to know. I see how you're sitting compared to how I'm sitting. I just want to know, do I come off relaxed or too relaxed, or should I sit up?
No,
Like,
you're
it's something
perfect.
that I've been thinking about. Like, you see, now I feel like, you know,
Like you're like
but here I felt
serious.
like it. So is this the way we sit? Is this fine? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can relax. You can
Okay,
relax
I'm
over
relaxed. I
here.
just don't want to come off as if I'm too relaxed.
No,
Like,
please.
okay,
You can even sit
sure.
like this if
Okay, we
you
can
want.
slouch if I want to. Okay, cool. Cheers. No,
You know what I mean?
understood.
Feel at home.
I'm at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have yourself a glass of wine.
Will do.
Let's have fun.
Sure thing.
Let's have a great conversation.
Okay.
All right. Sandile Mahlangu.
Yes.
Ooh, love it. He is a South African actor, a singer. I didn't know that.
we'll get to that.
Right. He is best known for his roles in popular TV series, namely Single Guys and Itumeleng, and his popular film Shaft 6. He joined the TV series Scandal as Simo Shabangu. He has done numerous soapies, in South Africa, such as Rhythm City, where he played the role Cash, Cheese Boy. His role Cheese Boy in the popular television series Itumeleng became highly popular among the public. Initially recurring, he was promoted to starring cast for season 2 of the series. He has also featured in numerous commercials. Damn, what have you not done?
What have I not done?
What have you not done?
I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. I don't know what I have not done. I haven't done a podcast.
You haven't done a
I've never done
podcast?
a podcast.
Well, here you are.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, I have not done the, roboto yet. I can still do that. I can still do TikTok dances, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But about the singing thing, I don't know who makes these, by the way. Like, it's just always, what is that, Wikipedia, ne?
Yeah, it's
I don't know who makes these, and I don't know how they know this, and that's the craziest thing to me, because I used to be a musician way back in the day, and this was before I even moved to Gauteng, and I have a couple of songs out in the world somewhere.
Is it?
I do, and I don't know how that person got to that. Maybe they were asking some research questions.
Were you rapping or?
It's an interesting thing, like rap is people, when somebody says rap, people think rap, like, but it's like, it was just vibing on the music, and that's where maybe they could get the singing part of it, because it was some sort of rap, but it wasn't necessarily what I'd call like a hip hop type of rap, and it was quite indie, and so how do you even categorize that, So I think that's where that began.
Yeah.
I still can do it, and it's something that I really do want to revisit once I get done with a lot of the other things that I'm doing now. I just want to put myself into that mind state.
Yeah.
As yet, Yeah. So yeah.
I can actually just like see you mesmerizing, like
yeah,
boy,
now you
girl,
see
and then you're like,
categorizing
yo,
now.
girl.
She's already seeing me going all R&B and stuff.
Yo, girl, how you doing?
It's
Beautiful.
it's not like that at all. Actually, it's quite, it's indie in a sense that I don't know, man. Like it's got an electro neo soul-y kind of feel,
nice.
So it's not. That's my kind of thing. It's not like R&B, girl.
Yeah.
I'm here. No,
Come, baby.
nothing like that.
Yeah. So in the near future, like, would you like revisit music?
Yeah, I want to. I mean, generally, I really want to. I think it's fun. I think it's something that it's a form of expression. As an actor, I've been an expressionist since, and so music forms part of that too. I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day, and he was like, what's nice about being a creative is that you're not limited to one specific
Yes.
type of creativity. And as much as South African society as a whole likes to limit a person, as you would see, you're an actor, do that, you're a presenter, do that.
Yeah.
No, you're a creative, you're an artist, and artists express themselves they're multifaceted in that sense.
Like
You know,
multifaceted.
it's expressionism. Mangfuna, I can just get up one day and say, I'm a painter now, because
course.
this creativity wants to express itself on a canvas. You know?
On a canvas.
So music is also that.
Yeah.
I've always found it so amazing what musicians do. If you really think about it, bear with me. You must imagine that, you must understand that for music to come through, it first of all doesn't exist. It's something that's in a person's mind, right? And so it's not in the tangible. They go into the intangible and they bring this vibration into reality, into vibration, and it vibrates, because music is vibration, into your own eardrum. And then you feel something. I think that's magic. You know, and so that's what I've always loved about music. I mean, you get it with a lot of different types of creativity. Whenever artists do their work and you watch it, it's a vibration. As light bounces off of this thing that they've created and it enters your eye, it enters as a vibration. And it makes you feel something. It's beautiful. You know?
I just love music. Like for me, I feel like, you know, if I could sing, I would sing like greeting people. Hi there. How are you?
But it's crazy because I think as much as there are people who are naturally talented at it, there's still a skill. You know, it's a muscle that you have to just teach. You know, like you don't just become good at soccer, you have to play it. There are talented people, but there's also people who learn that skill. So I think, you know, within creativity, it's just a practice game. It really is. It's a practice on how to do it better. You know, that's just how it is. I think, there are naturally talented people, like a person who'll be 6 years old and singing in the gospel choir.
You know
and
what I
everybody's
mean?
just going,
Like,
child. You know?
like, oh my God.
But then there is also that leeway for you to learn how to do it. Having the right mentorship and also practice. I think you can be a singer if you want to.
I want to be a singer. So you have to teach me.
No. Let's not. I'm not there right now. Let's focus on where I am right now. You know?
Well, in the near future.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Cool.
I loved how you spoke about creativity. And one of the ways that you have, you know, exerted your creative juices, rather, is through this brand called Sandu.
Yes.
Can you please just like tell us more about it? By the way, it's pretty, and
Thank
I want
you.
myself a piece.
Thank you so much. So this is Sandu, guys. You get it www.sandustore.com. It's a combination of myself and my business partner, Undumiso. So it's Sandile, we meet at the end, Undumiso going this way. And it basically started from just one day I got bored, you know, like I got bored of like going to the store and not finding what I want to wear. And I was like, it's going to get to a point where I need to create my own clothes then, if that's the case. You know, you walk into one specific store, you're like, oh, I wish this was in a different form or done, you know, why don't I just do it myself? And in actual fact, there was this girl, I don't know, from the Eastern Cape or something on Facebook, and she posted herself wearing my face in a white t-shirt. And everybody was like, on some, how much is it? Where did you get it made? How much is it? And she's like, no, it's just for me. And people are like, but how much would you sell it for? And I was reading those comments. I was like, I was an influencer for different clothing brands, telling people to buy the clothing brands because they look good on me. Why can't I just do that for myself? You know? I know it's going to be difficult, but it's something that I was willing to do. And it's a form of expression as well, like I said. And I was like, let me just run with it, you know. And so that's the beginning of it, you know. My friend, my business partner, was actually an engineer as well. By the way, I'm an electrical engineer, for those who don't know.
Oh, okay.
NPF level 6 trade test.
You
know, wireman's license. I can wire this whole place if I want to, you know. But yeah, so he was also, he's also an engineer. He was more mechanical side, and he decided to quit that as well because he said it wasn't fulfilling him. Like in his spirit wasn't fulfilled doing the job, you know, and so he joined me into this venture where he designed some of the clothes and we, you know, business partner things, and so that's the inception of Sandu. It's been alive for 4 months. She's still quite young. For November, it's 5 now. She's still quite young, but she's doing extremely well. We already have been selling out anything we drop. So our biggest catch-22, we've gotten to the place where, you know, when you start a business, initially it wants a lot of investment on your part. I think we've gotten to that sweet spot, but that catch-22 spot where where it's now recycling itself, meaning it sells out and then it can restock itself. So it's in a loop of its own. But now we're in a place where we need to strategically expand from that, because it could get stuck in that loop. And I think as a businessman, you start to see those things. You learn based on the craft, and you learn, it's, let me not get stuck in that, and you adapt and you move. So it's a beautiful journey of learning and expression and growing.
Yeah. What I'm loving right now is that so many young South Africans are like coming up with like great brands, sort of. We've got Sandu, we've got Batu, we've got Drip, and now it's such a beautiful place to be in, where South Africans are now supporting South Africans. And I think it took us a long time for us to get here, but it's so beautiful that this is the time. You know, if you want to start something, this is the time, because it's such a beautiful spot.
There has never been a better time to start something for yourself than it is now. To keep it 100% with people, there has never been. We are at the most connected that we've ever been as a society. I mean, we can highlight that in a negative, that we could be connected in the most negative state if you look at places like Twitter and stuff. But I just think that that's just how society is. A lot of people are in pain. A lot of people are below the poverty line. You know, the way South Africa is right now, and that tends to jar a person mentally. You know. But I think that right now we're in the most perfect place, in the sense that if I can bring something out, I have the ability. I don't need the middleman anymore. I have the ability to make it happen for myself, where the audience is there. You know, everybody's always there. Back then, people used to pay for adverts to put them on television. I always have this conversation. I'm like, you know, especially when people, and not in a weird way, but especially when people come to me, they're like, oh yeah, I was a TV, ne? Man, I need TV. Yes, but when I get on a TV. I don't know why they always do that. But I feel like they do that because they don't want to like offend me or make me feel disappointed, because they don't know how I am, you know, like, so I might take that in the wrong way. But I'm always like, I understand, you know, because if you really were to notice the evolution of television, it was this big, thick thing, and then it sort of went thin, and then it sort of went smaller, and now the television is the phone.
It's the
you
phone.
know. So now we don't need the middleman or the broadcaster. I need the broadcaster because I'm still an actor. So broadcasters, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ad people.
He needs a job. Okay.
Yeah, I need my job. But I'm just saying that, like, to promote Sandu, I don't need to pay money anymore to put it on TV. The TV is the telephone. It's a cell phone. You know, so. Yeah, so it's a beautiful time. Really, I think right now, as much as it's going to be difficult in the economy that we find ourselves in, I think it's very important that we find ourselves doing things for ourselves. Try by all means to find that thing that works for you and make that your life's mission. It's important. I think things have changed where the 9 to 5 is not, you know, the only thing that can make you, that can give you a decent life anymore. Have that 9 to 5, but also have a 6 to 4, you know, just as normal surviving person. It's rough outside. And so find that one thing that you can do.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful spot, like you're saying, that we now have things like social media. Right? And that's why influencing is like such a big career now, because you basically just like market your brand, you know, like.
Speaking of influencing, sorry, don't show me drinking wine. Like, have a cutaway then. Like, show the weather today. As soon as I'm cut, you know, like.
No ways.
You know? So the funny thing about influencing, and it's something that just hit me the other day, where and I think we're getting it wrong. People want to look for influence. They think it's something that you can find. You know, like they think that, okay, if I do this, I'll find the influence. But they don't really. It's a misunderstanding. They don't really understand what it means to be an influential person. An influential person means being a better version of yourself. You know, consistently doing you without any adjustments, just bettering yourself consistently, then you will find a place where you are influential. Because if you've noticed, the actual people who are influential are the ones who started trends. And not the people who are following the trends. Those are getting a derivative of the influence. You know, I'm trying to personify influence like it's a cake, you know. There's the people who make the cake and the people who eat the cake, and then the crumbs are the ones that people usually jump on. I think we'd be doing such a great job if all of us were to sort of push ourselves as unique as we are, as best as we can and solely focus on that. I think that's the purpose of everything. And so with that, influence will naturally flow.
I love
You will
that.
naturally be an influential person.
I
you
love
know?
that.
Yeah.
So basically stand for something
Stand for yourself.
and be a brand first
Yeah, exactly.
before starting to work with brands.
Yeah, and I think that's the best way to do it instead of following trends, because then you'll always be in an ebb and a flow consistently. When you could just be consistently working yourself, it might take longer, but when it does hit, it will hit.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy. People go like, "Yo, I want to pray to the same ancestors that Uncle Waffles prayed for." You know what I mean? They say things like that, not knowing how much work she's put in to get to that level. It's not like she was hopping onto a trend.
Yeah.
Now everybody else is doing the hopping onto that trend because
Exactly.
she was just doing her and she was
she's
doing
just
the
doing
best of what she can do uniquely, and that's what people hopped onto, you know.
Sure.
So that's the whole thing about influence that I just
I
wanted
love
to touch
it.
on.
So basically build a foundation.
Yeah.
First for yourself.
Introspect mostly.
Yeah.
Introspect. Ask the question, what is it that I want? What is it that I really, really want?
Yeah.
And as soon as you have that answer, everything else that doesn't correspond with that answer is you have to give it a no. You have to say no to it. Yes to everything that moves you towards that goal, and no to everything that doesn't. And I think it's a thing that we learn to do on a daily basis. And as soon as we master it, that's when the blessings start to flow. Because we sort of push the blessings away when we get distracted from the goal, you know, because you are going to be blessed in this line, but I see this line is looking tasty this very moment. Now you're slowing down these blessings that are supposed to be for you, you know.
Sure.
Can't get the blessings that are meant for you if you're pretending to be something else, something that you're not. Yeah.
Sure. Talking about who you are and stuff, where were you born? For those that don't know, and also, did you grow up with both parents? Like, what's happening? Where are you from? Like, who are
Google
you?
me, baby. What are we doing? I'm joking.
Google him, darling.
No, man. I'm from Itumeleng in Mpumalanga. It's a small mining town that I grew up in. A very mineral-rich town where, you know, you are the best that you are if you are in the mining industry, and that's what I've always had a problem with. But that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
To answer the other question, yes, I was born to two loving parents. I have two siblings, one younger, well, both younger. I had a pause there because he's very mature and he's taller than me. So it's like, is he younger than me? But he is.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I have two younger siblings. One is Sandile Mahlangu. He's 24 years old, and I have Lesudi Mahlangu. She's 19 now. Yeah.
Okay. Lovely.
Yeah.
Can you
Do
share with?
you want me to go through my whole history?
Well, not really. I mean,
Because I can.
I think we know a little bit of who you are now.
Yeah.
You know, and you were raised by both parents, which is lovely.
Yeah.
You know, can you share with us any struggles you've had with low self-esteem and how you overcame it?
Snap. You know, I mean, a lot of people suffered from that, I think, you know. It's a thing, it's not a really unique thing to talk about, but like on my personal experience, yes, I did. This was caused by just, you know, your average bullying at school, where you came across as a different person, and so they wanted to exploit that difference and force you into conformity. And so that created this loop of self-doubt and always asking yourself if you're enough, and imposter syndrome and such. And I think the biggest way that I overcame that is through one, it's crazy because when you're older, these things also come back to bite you differently, you know? And so you could go your whole life not knowing that you suffer from anything until you're older and you have to make decisions, and you're thrown into a situation that triggers that response.
Sure.
And you realize like, oh my gosh, wow, I thought I was okay. I thought I was fine mentally. Oh, I'm damaged. And what I did was that obviously I went to therapy. I am an advocate for therapy. I think therapy should be taken the same way that people go to church. I think it should be like a Sunday thing kind of thing. Like every week you should go there, because we're adults, man. Who do we talk to, you know?
Yeah.
We need that person who's non-biased, who's not going to judge you or even judge the situation based on how they feel about you. They'll just give you the valid truth. And I think that's important for a safe space. So I went to therapy and I learned a few things about myself, you know, like childhood traumas that I've experienced from my parents, you know, them not knowing that they were traumatizing me.
Sure.
But from my parents, from the people that I grew up with. And I think with understanding where the feeling came from, the feeling of lack of confidence or self-consciousness, where it came from, understanding that was the beginning of my healing. I think a lot of people don't understand that these feelings are so fleeting in the sense that they pretend or they make you believe that they're the biggest thing in the world. But once you start to learn introspection, and you learn it through things like meditation, but people don't, when they think about meditation, they're thinking, you know what they think.
It's like,
They think that because they really, that's what the Western media has taught us how to think about it. But like, once you learn how to introspect and really assess your body on a daily basis, you understand just how fleeting the emotion is, because it runs away. As soon as you try to find it, it's not there anymore. And that's how you learn how to overcome it, in a sense. And the more and more you do that, the better you start to feel, the more you heal. And yeah, I think that's how I overcame it. I mean, it's still there, I still wake up and like, yo, this pimple.
Yeah.
But it's not a place where it's crippling now. It's not in a place where it's crippling now. And I think I can function as a normal citizen, a unique normal citizen of society, Yeah.
I was bullied for my scars.
Yeah.
So I grew up with my scars. So I was bullied for my scars. Oh my God, you've got scars, da 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 da.
Which is like, so, yes, it's
right?
Such an interesting thing. I think that's a study on its own. Like,
Yeah.
When they bully a person because of an appearance, it's like the most interesting thing to me. But yeah, sorry to cut you off.
No, it's okay. So now I wanted to say that, like, you are like a pretty boy, right?
Who?
You.
Me?
Yes, you're like handsome, you're cute.
What's up?
Like, what were you like bullied on? I mean, like, come on.
Dude, like, it's you never really know. Like, it's just, when you get off the bus, they're coming for you.
Yeah.
I remember having an instance where I got off the bus, and this was always every morning actually, but this specific day was the one that's sad, where I got off the bus and I'm walking to school, and all of a sudden they're all coming, and I'm running, and they were licking their fingers and they were slapping me.
Wow.
But it was always used to be a thing, but that day there were just so many of them that it really did traumatize me.
Yeah.
And so they'd never really tell you why. I mean, I had a bully with a silver eye, guys, in high school. He had a silver eye. It was like big, and he had this color was black, this color was silver. And he just chose to like bully me, like chase me around school and stuff. And it started in the first day. And he's like, this is my desk. I'm like, dude, we're just choosing different desks. It's mine though.
Yeah.
You up. For what? What did I do? And then it became a thing for the whole year.
Yeah.
So I've just always had that. And they, because they can't express themselves as well. And I can't I can't even ask the right questions. So it's, you just go there not knowing, what's happening, and those kind of things really make you question yourself as a person growing up. You're like, what is wrong with me? There must be something wrong with me, because they're not being bullied.
Yeah.
Why do I always have to be the one running? So it happens, and yeah, it does develop into a mental, I don't want to say disorder, but it does develop into a mental, what can I say outside of disorder? It is a disorder.
Like a mental challenge.
It's a mental challenge?
Yeah, it's like a mental challenge.
Okay, yeah, it comes up and, develops a mental challenge, and you don't know that you go around the whole, your whole adult life, and you don't know that you're dealing with such, and until one day where you're triggered, and then you behave. Have I told you about trauma?
No.
My understanding about trauma has changed drastically. Trauma is like a parasite. I say this all the time, like, trauma is like a parasite. And it's not even a bad thing in the sense that it's your body producing antibodies trying to protect you. It's itself trying to say, I will never let that happen to us ever again, Itu. You know, as soon as something comes up and reminds me of that, I'm gonna take Itu, I'm gonna put her in the back seat, and I will take care of it.
Exactly.
So it's like it fragments itself, little portion that sits in the back of your head, and it waits to get triggered, so the program should run. Now, that's good and all, but it's a problem because it is sentient. It is a sentient being inside of you, and it only sees the light when it gets to experience it via being triggered. That is a problem, because you'll then find a 50-year-old man behaving like a 16-year-old boy when he's triggered. And that is where the problem is. And that is why we need to heal from our traumas. As much as we love the fact that our body protects us, but I think it's important to heal from our traumas. It really is. And the only way to know that you traumatized is by either being triggered or self-introspection. Yeah.
I got burned from a candle. And for the longest of time, I was scared of candles. I had like a real phobia for candles.
Yeah.
And my family as well. Like my family, whether there's load shedding or not, they will never light a candle, right? So that's like secondhand trauma.
Yeah.
And I realized that I had to get over my phobia. And then what I started doing was that, I started making them myself.
Oh, wow.
And then I learned how to make like...
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You like took the bull by the
Yeah.
horns, eh? Just went straight.
Because
Why?
trauma
When
actually
blood-
presents you.
Eh?
Eh?
I mean, I feel like that's something when you talk about it. We're here now.
Yeah.
I'm interviewing you now. How did you get over that? Like, how did you just jump straight to?
I had to. For me, it was like, how do I get over this phobia?
Yeah.
And one of the ways, funny enough, for me, it was like, let me start making them, right? And then I went onto YouTube, and then I said how to make them. And then I started making candles from scratch. And then I started lighting it. And the first day, it was very tough for me.
Yeah.
It was just like, no, like you were saying, it's like that trauma sort of like protecting you from it. It's like, you don't remember it, but...
I remember it very
Yes.
well. I protected you from remembering it. You just know you're scared of it. You don't know why.
Right? So the very first day was very tough. Second day was tough. Third day, it was like, there we go.
Yeah.
And the more I started switching on that candle, like lighting it, the lesser the
fear.
prison chains started like falling off.
But how?
And
I'm sorry for asking you like this because
Yeah.
I'm a person who likes to really understand fully, like, was he in your life?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
I want to know what is the process that you did to get yourself to that level? Because I mean, if it's a phobia, and lots of people struggle to even look at something that, they're very traumatized by.
One thing about me, I've always been very strong. And one of the ways of me being strong is by showing myself, not just people, that you can get
That's dope.
over something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just because you come from this background doesn't mean that you need to stay there and remain there.
Okay.
You need to, at some point, like, snap out of it.
So you're a chosen one.
Yeah.
You're a beacon.
So like for me, it was just like, I'm going to snap out of it. Also, I love money.
Don't we all? Do we
I love
not
money.
all? Yeah.
So then it was like, let me start making candles and then sell them.
Yeah.
Right? And now people started buying the candles because of also like the story.
Yeah, of course.
And then when they realized that oh my God, these are like perfect candles. And then they started like, just buying them. But for me, it's so important for us to say, yes, we come from trauma.
Yeah.
Yes, we come from that one boy who was like teasing me, but I am not going to allow that to prison me.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
And it just hit me now that if you really think, based on what you're saying, if you really think about it, we become like our abusers because it's like a lingering effect as a reminder of the trauma. We become like them because we abuse ourselves.
Yes, we abuse ourselves.
What we see outside is what isn't happening inside. And so we then tend to abuse other people based on how we feel inside because we're constantly abusing ourselves.
Yeah.
And if we become other people, then can we really say that we are blessed in a sense that are we even getting blessings that are meant for us? Because we're on a daily basis other people. And who are these people? The abusers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, like a person would be 35 and saying, the reason why you so babwam, and now you've lived so long where you could have been getting so many blessings, but you chose to be your father. He's like, I'm fine, babam. Hey, dude, you're the same way.
Exactly like
yeah.
him. Yeah.
And so I think, man, that's beautiful. That really is. Yeah, like I think it's important to be that way, actually. Or if you can't, at least try and find and get the necessary help. Because abantu bazokutshela.
Yeah.
Abantu abakuthanda bazokutshela.
Yeah.
Bazothi, I feel like you have this thing.
Yes.
Look into it, As defensive as you might get, I think it's you should take heed and actually do some work within the healing space.
Yeah.
And healing is just such an intricate thing. healing starts from just wanting better.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Like, I think healing starts from just
Exactly.
wanting better for yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to a retreat. It's just wanting the idea, the planting of the seed, the idea that you just want to do better for yourself, or you want better for yourself. You can start with taking morning walks. You become addicted to taking morning walks. And now, because you're taking morning walks, you want more energy while taking morning walks. So now you intermittent fasting. Now you're doing, and then it's a growth thing.
And it's a growth,
It's
yeah.
a growth thing. It's when
Yeah,
you
it's
get
like a
to that
journey.
point. It's a journey.
Yeah, it's a
The
journey.
hero's journey.
Yeah. Do you think that you have healed from your traumas?
You know, that's a question that's actually been asked before by a very close friend of mine. And the answer that I gave them was that healing is very interesting. It's like this. I think people believe that they've healed when they've healed from the pain that the trauma has caused. So they think that the pain and the trauma are the same thing, but the pain is a byproduct of the trauma. And so each time you get triggered, you get pain because you still have the trauma. So I've healed from a lot of the pains of my traumas, but I'm constantly always working to heal from the traumas. It's not an easy thing. The deeper you go, the deeper they are, like childhood ones. Your whole being is rooted in them. You know, it's the foundation of who you are. Your childhood traumas, they grew from, like, who you are now grew from that. You had to weave and bob around them so that you avoid being triggered again as a child. So you can imagine what that does to your brain. And so it's not something that a person can say, I've healed when I'm 30 years old this year and I've been living this way for about 25 years. It's not something that you can say, oh yeah, I've healed now. I've healed. How long did it take you to heal? Oh, now about 6 months. I did therapy. And no, you've healed from the pain. Because I think one thing that trauma has learned how to master is the volume button when it comes to the pain. You can have a sharp one that can make you go, oh my gosh, I need to heal. Or you can have that dull one. That one, it's on volume 3. That is always there. You just don't know that it's there because so joyelu to pila nayo. You know, it's those ones that you need to really focus in and really hone in and really harness. So you can be the better, you know, the best version of yourself. And you owe it to yourself to be the best version of yourself because that's where your blessings are. And I continuously say this, I stand on that your blessings are at the best person that you could ever be. You are hindered by your traumas. You are hindered by your distractions. You're hindered by those things of reaching them. You know, that inner dialogue is your biggest fighter. It's your biggest best friend, but also your biggest opponent. And being able to master how to have that conversation with that person is what's going to bring you to your blessings. You know, God really wants to give you these blessings. You're the one who's saying no to them. And I'm included in that. I'm not saying you. I'm included in that. It's just the realization that I tell myself that I'm consistently hindering my own blessings by being a fake person towards myself and towards other people, you know. So, yeah.
Have you forgiven the people that caused your traumas?
That I can say yes. That I can say yes. But we get traumatized every day, so you know it's a journey in that. But the ones who have created some rifts, I have. It's the only way that you can move forward. Even if you don't have to tell them, like, hey, when I think it's important to you to heal and to forgive them yourself, and that takes a lot of work. I have a few friends that I've been talking to try and help them forgive those who have oppressed them in the past. And it is a journey. I've noticed from other people that it's different for each person. Like, you can't say, it's different for each person and it's their own journey, and you can just be there as a person to support them.
As a person, yeah.
Yeah.
I have, so my father, when I got burned, he left.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, oh no, like, this is like a lot for me.
Yeah.
So then he left, and then he married again, you know, and so forth. And for the longest of time, I resented my dad, you know, and I couldn't get to a point where I forgave him, like, properly. And you would say that, oh, no, I forgive him.
But actually.
But deep down, you know, like, when somebody mentions my dad's name, like, hi, Wena. Yes, you know what I mean?
Because then who's that? You know? Like,
exactly.
But think about it. Like, who is that?
Yeah.
You don't come off as a person who'd say, hi, Wena.
Yes,
but now, because, you know, because of a situation like that, oh, hi, Wena, Puma. Who is that person? You know?
Yeah, it's like, oh, I know, please. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I got so much liberation when I started getting the rift of where my dad was. And for me, it liberated me. So for me, the revelation was that my dad himself did not get the type of love that he wanted.
You know what? Come here, son.
You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. Sorry to like just come in there in a
Yeah.
beat, ne. I think, shoo, all the deepest people that I've had conversations with, and I think that's why I also agreed to do this podcast, because I could tell. All the deepest people that I've had conversations with have been through some sort of strife, some sort of struggle. And I think it builds that character whereby most you can have that self-awareness to say, actually, I think my father was like that because same here, you know, like with my parents as well. Like you get to a point where you're like, but also they were also sorry about that.
So they don't know things like, oh, my son, you know, I love you. They don't know things like that because they never received them from their parents. And now we are expecting it, and now like they are just like, what is that? You know, I was upset at my dad for not like holding me at some point, like just like call me and hug me. I'm your daughter. I don't want to be cuddling with men. I want to be cuddling with you. You are my father. And I think when I got that revelation, it liberated me immediately. And that's when I really started to forgive him. You know, so now when I talk about my dad, and I talk about him from a place of love rather than from a place of resentment.
I love that it got to that place. You know, I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people where I'm like, if it could just only get to that pity, if it could just get to pity, I feel like half the job is done. You know, when it gets to love, you know, that's when we know it's okay, I've completely forgiven them. But when the thing that we shoot for the most, when the people that I talk to is let it get to pity. I wanna, let's move from hate, because it's like a spectrum. Let's move hate and love this side. If we can get to the neutral ground, which I'd call the pity. If you could just wake up one day and be like, Marayazi ngizoli sono shem. Yeah, ngizoli sono. Yeah, man. Khona into being a right at the time I'm raised. As soon as it gets there, I think that's where you stop getting influenced by or get triggered by his name being mentioned or her name being mentioned. I think that's when you start to find yourself again, start to live as who you were meant to be. As soon as it just gets to pity. But when I'm a love, then you know it's I know. I love you. And I understand. And I think that's also a beautiful place to be, and congratulations on that.
And I think the problem with Black parents, you know, in particular, is that they don't see themselves as wrong. And now a lot of our forgiveness comes from them asking for forgiveness. You know, so
but
have your parents admitted that they were wrong?
Yes and no.
Okay.
And also parents, I don't think we should put, my mother was amazing. She was also going through some things. You know what I'm saying? It's that level. It's like it gets to a place where you start to really understand what they were going from. You see, when you said like, and I did this. And it's like we have to understand their type of upbringing, you know. It wasn't too many words. It was action. And you can't blame them because they come from a place of extreme subjugation, you know. And you have to understand that a person who is like that has a specific view of reality that you can't even break free from. You know, you get to a specific time in your life where that is set in stone, especially from your environment. Where are you going to get the books that are going to help you about mental health? You know, where are you going to get the podcasts, the videos? Where are you going to get all that information when you are still in that environment and you are 9 to 5ing for past John, you know? So it gets to the point where you start to really understand, and you know which I'm man shem. And then the older they get too, and you see it in their eyes. I mean, we as human beings, we don't look at each other in the eyes as much anymore. And I think you do if it's a person that you love, and you see it in their eyes. I know what you're saying. But just by the way you're looking at me now, because I've looked at you in the eyes for about 30 years, I know what you're looking at me now as, you know? And I think that is enough for me. I don't need the validation of them sitting me down and saying, nah, I think just from the conversations that we have, because I assess them very well, you can tell what they feel inside.
Sure.
You can't, it's not right for you to force it out of them also, because it's not in their nature. You just have to understand their nature, you know. It's like, I'm gonna go sidetrack a bit. And this example is just to make you understand.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been told that I speak frankly, and my examples are jarring, you know.
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't force a dog to meow because you want it to be a cat.
Yeah.
You know, it's a dog, you know. So you have to have a conversation that the dog can understand.
Yeah.
And so I'm not calling our parents dogs. Please don't do that.
No.
I'm just saying, just trying to make it easier to understand. It's out of their nature to do that, and it's not right for you to force it out of them or force them out of their nature, especially at their age. You know, they've been living that for the longest time, and so you see it in their behavior, you see it in the way that they look at you, the conversations that you have, the level of respect that they give you. There's an understanding there, and you see it's different. You know, and if you have healed, you wouldn't want to go,
Yes.
you know, if you've really healed and you've really forgiven them, you wouldn't want to do that. I think it comes with that personal journey. You wouldn't want to go, I still need it from you.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that can imprison you in some point.
It can.
Yeah.
It really can.
Yeah. So how do you prioritize self-care and mental health in your busy life? It is very hard. No, it's so hard.
Some heated conversations happening over here. Anyways, well, you know, that is a beautiful question, because as a person who talks about it, you have to have a practice, you know. And wine. Boy, take two. So no, like I have what I call my dailies. These are very dear to me. They're very important to me. I'm a person of routine and ritual, and I thank them for having grounded me. There was a time in my life where I lost them, and I realized why I needed them, because it happens. Life will teach you. Life has ebbs and flows. It'll teach you why you do the things that you do. You know, and so what I do is I have a routine. Gratitude is number one in that routine. I write down my gratitudes list on a daily, like on a real, like as simple as me saying, oh, I met new people today, you know, and they were pretty cool. Kgotso, Rob over here, that was pretty cool. I'm gonna write about you guys today. But I'm just saying, you know, as little as that, because as humans, we tend to focus on, because we're creatures of habit, we try to grow all the time, and growth comes with challenge. And so we're always looking at the challenge and forgetting what we've done yesterday. We forget, you know, we don't view the world as 100%. We view it as very 50%, and it's the 50% that we need to solve. And it's problematic because it reduces your vibration if you do that. Sure. And so reminding yourself on a daily basis that, wow, I did good today. I did this and I did that and I got this done. Instead of saying, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, I didn't. You say, I did this and I did that and I did that and I did that. Gratitude. I also try by all means to meditate above 5 minutes, I'll be honest. It used to be like 15. I used to be crazy with it. But now, because your mind is also a little different, I try 5 minutes a day. I watch lots of podcasts. I watch videos. I watch Alan Watts. I watch Bob Proctor. I watch, you know, those kind of videos to try and motivate me. And this is the funny one. And I probably shouldn't say it, but like I want to share on how ridiculous I am. And it's fun. It's fine to be ridiculous. I'd watch a few videos on YouTube of people succeeding through trial and error, just to get that feeling of crying, because you know if you've seen those videos where like a guy would be like, there's this favorite video of mine where he's a marathon runner, and then he's been training all his life for this marathon, and then his leg starts to like he pulls a hamstring, and he's still going, and he's still going, and he's crying as he's going, and he's crying, and then his father, who's like 70 years old, runs from the sidelines, and they're crying together, but they're like, we're gonna finish this. I watched it to get that goosebump feeling, you know, that goosebump feeling that'll take you to a specific vibration where you just like start to tear up as well. I watch that on a regular, just to remind my heart that we're going, you know, we're going. It's tough, but we're going. Let's keep going. So yeah, to finish off and wrap up the self-care part, I really do have a skincare routine. I know it's weird.
I love it.
I wear, eye patches. I even drive around with my eye patches.
Oh,
I
love
don't
it.
really care. I really care. Too many guys are like, why are you driving around? I'll wear my eye patches, man. I need to look good inside and out. Self-care is a whole thing. It's a whole
thing.
narrative. You can't choose self-care and still subscribe to societal's views on masculinity.
Yeah.
You're half-assing it,
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
And what does masculinity mean for you?
Look, masculinity is 50% of reality. The other 50 is obviously femininity.
Yeah.
I believe that I'll use it in a space, in a shapeful example. I believe that masculinity is very square. Femininity is very circular.
Okay.
That's why there's that diagram of consciousness that has them both intertwined. I believe that masculinity has its own set of rules that they need to abide by based on reality, and femininity as well. I believe that a man who is strong in his masculinity is a man who is very direction driven, very goal oriented, but also understands that we are drivers. We are not planners per se. We do need the feminine. If I were to give us a character, a Marvel character, for those who understand, I'll give us Hulk and Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner is extremely intelligent. Hulk is extremely strong.
Yeah.
They need each other to solve solutions. Hulk will jump, land somewhere there, but land get destruction. Bruce Banner has the ability to fix that destruction. Now imagine if we're working harmoniously, we have the ability to do the most amazing things.
Sure.
My take on toxic masculinity, I think it's a societal thing. It's a control thing. It's a thing to limit us from growing as a society. It's a thing that limits us from growing as in relationships per se. I don't want to talk much about that, but just to answer that very vaguely, it's as vague as I can go. But yeah, that's what I believe. Without going too much.
Just so that
without going too polarized.
You don't go in.
Let's not polarize the nation.
Yeah.
These conversations, they call them polarizing conversations.
Yeah.
Because they'll always bring out, they call this land, this realm, the realm of duality, where positive and negative can exist. Other realms, it doesn't, The law of attraction says that if you are of a specific vibration, you'll be attracted to the plane of that existence without going too deep. But this is the only place where positive and negative can exist, where you can meet a person of higher vibration and they could raise you to that vibration and vice versa. And I think this realm here, we have this thing where we get polarized, whereby anything a person says now has to have a negative and a positive.
Yeah.
And that is also part of the problem. We polarize people for monetary gain.
Yeah.
And that's where we're losing in humanity. And I think the biggest thing that people should do is focus on grounding themselves on a daily basis. Really do. It's interesting. It's the easiest thing to do, to ground yourself. Just stand in grass for 10 minutes and feel your vibration change. Absorb the sun for at least 10 minutes a day, and you will start to ground yourself. And I think it's very important that we do that. We used to do this. I know you know what I'm talking. We used to do this. We just stopped doing it. But I think we should go back to that. That's also part of my self-care. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. We'll talk about toxic masculinity.
Yeah, let's actually not.
Another time.
Let's
another
actually
time.
not.
Yeah.
Let's avoid polarizing humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you talk about a time when you experienced failure or setback and how you bounced back from it?
Oh, every day. Every day.
Sure, I love it.
It's not a big deal, I think. As much as it might feel as a big deal on a daily basis, you're like, I failed. And I think that's because of how we were taught. Failure is a part of life, guys. It doesn't mean that it's only happening to you. It happens to everybody, And if it's one thing, your life will teach you, guys. You know what I'm talking about. Life will teach you.
Yeah.
But it'll also teach you to know that failure is a part of life. And just because you failed doesn't mean you are lesser than. You fail every day. I fail every day.
Yeah.
Jeez. Like even in my healing, even in my self-care, even in my relationships, I fail every day. I think the biggest thing is to see it as part of life and learn from that. Like learn why you failed so you can grow. Because you fail to grow. It's a lesson in a sense, Always also within relationships, speaking about relationships, when you do fail in relationships that day, make it a thing that you learn why it happened.
Yeah.
And then make things right.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
you've learned now. So cool,
Yeah.
make things right. So the last time I failed was this morning. This very morning. I was supposed to wake up and meditate. Did I? I didn't. And I should have. And I failed. But I'm comfortable in speaking about the fact that that is what it is, you know. And because if I were to label not meditating when I said I will in the morning as a failure, and then I'll also take that and say me not getting the gig that I was supposed to get as a failure. Do you see the difference in value that you know? But then if I label them in the same label, that means they're the same.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just life.
Yeah.
You know, and so yeah, this morning to answer your question.
You know what I've learned also is also to be kind.
My neck.
To not just other people. To not just your family and your friends and your parents, you know, and so forth, but also to yourself.
Yeah.
I think most of us are not kind to us.
You know, blame us though.
And we don't give ourselves grace. So if my son, you know, my daughter like says to me that, oh mom, I forgot to make you like a cup of whatever, right? The natural instinct from a mom would be, oh no, it's okay, my baby.
Yeah.
But we don't do that to us.
Yeah.
Like, you don't meditate for 5 minutes, you're beating yourself up about it.
Very
oh my
true.
God, oh my God.
Very, very true.
And I feel like that is that bullying that you were mentioning that we keep on doing.
To ourselves.
And
it's the craziest thing because we all remember how it was being bullied in school.
Yeah.
And it always felt amazing to go home
Yeah.
and leave those bullies at school.
Exactly.
It was amazing.
Exactly.
So what we've done is we've created an environment where our bullies follow us at home as well.
Yeah.
How do you expect to grow from that? Because you're always still in that. Your inner child is crying.
Yeah.
It really is. And that's what, there's this TikTok that I posted on my stories on Instagram. Sandile _, by the way, on Instagram. On
Follow
TikTok.
him, all right? Follow him.
Me. We need the likes. We need the engagement. It gets
Yes,
us paid.
please.
It gets us paid. Anyways, because attention.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I posted this on my stories that said that it's a man crying, and he says the minute you realize that when you are being hard on yourself and you shut yourself down, you are basically talking to your inner child. You are stopping them because they wanted to play with you.
Sure. Ooh.
So the minute you start to be hard on yourself, I think you need to think about that first of all, what is the point of being hard on yourself?
Sure.
So okay, you're being hard on yourself. Let's put that in duality. You're being hard on somebody. Who is that somebody to you? Yourself. Why do you need to be hard on yourself if you are yourself?
Sure.
You know? So you know deep down that there's a something in there that wants to come out and have fun or play or whatever, and you know it's there, but you'd rather not bring it to the forefront, and so you're being hard on that thing, which is your inner self.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
Your inner child.
Oh, love it. I've got 4 last questions for you that I need one response to. What's your perspective on spirituality? 1 sentence.
Okay. Wow. You can't ask something like that. Okay, then I have to think. Perspective on spirituality. It is an expression of life, or the understanding of life. Yeah, either one or the other there.
Sure.
It's either the expression and or the understanding of life.
Sure, love it. What's your perspective on freedom?
My perspective on freedom is having the ability to express yourself wholeheartedly. Yeah.
Love it. What's your perspective on power?
Load shedding. There is stage are we on now? Oh my gosh.
Stage 6.
I said that because that one is it's not a one sentence
Yeah.
thing, and yeah, there's a longer description there. So
You can say
no,
it.
we said one.
Say it. No, it's
Hi,
okay.
guys, it's okay. Oh man, if we want to talk about power, we have to understand what it is. Also, what is it? Like, because there's power over self, there's power over others, there's that kind of thing. I think what you are saying that we're talking about is power over oneself. With the power that you receive from having power over oneself is you get to a place where you make things happen. You become a manifesting God.
Sure.
Because your blessings are just naturally there for you to receive. Having power over oneself means having the discipline to understand that there's things that I need to do and continuously doing them religiously.
Sure.
Having power over oneself is having understanding of the 5 pillars of self. These 5 pillars are to engage yourself on a daily basis, religiously, like the same way we do with spirituality, emotionally engage yourself, mentally engage yourself, spiritually engage yourself, physically engage yourself, and then with oneness, which is the 5th one that gets engaged from the 4, with oneness. If you engage yourself that way every day, religiously, as you are meant to do, just we're not taught this, you will then be in tune with yourself for you to understand what you need to do and have a purpose in this life. And I think that is power.
Sure.
Understanding your purpose in life is having power.
Love it. Oh, I love it. Oh.
All
right, one last one.
Okay.
Sorry. What's your perspective on beauty?
It's very jaded. I'll be honest. I don't have one line for that one. It's very jaded. Like you asked me if I have healed from my traumas and stuff. I'm still in the journey of healing from that, and I think I'll start here and then I'll come back to what I just said.
Okay.
Beauty is everywhere in this sense. We must understand that divinity created everything, and divinity is all encompassing of everything.
Yeah.
Divinity is beauty. Divinity is love, and I think we as normal human beings and actual human beings have to accept that and see it for what it is. Beauty is in everything.
Yeah.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is in the golden ratio that created reality.
Yeah.
And now beauty societally, because of my traumas, I'm still quite jaded in it. I still am hard on myself for the way that I look. I still am hard on myself for the way that other people look as well. Like I have crazy expectations and crazy standards, and that's because of my past traumas, and it's something that I'm working on continuously. And so it's on that level.
Yeah. Sure. All right, we have one last question. Sandile, what do you see when you look into that mirror?
I see my Sandu t-shirt. Don't forget to order. It's www.sandustore.com. We have them available if you like them.
Yeah.
But I also see a very hardworking man who has had to deal with a lot from growing up, and he has actually thrived even through the cards that he was dealt.
Sure.
Yeah. I see a dashing Black man who has the confidence to face the world on a daily basis.
Yeah.
To wake up and say it's a new day. Let's forget what happened yesterday. Let's focus on the present. I see quite the present man who wants to make the most of what he was given and also try to change the world just a little bit much. He understands that. There you are. Okay. He understands that in order to change the world or to see what is wrong with the world, you have to first see what is wrong with you.
Sure.
And that is how you earn the right to say that you want to change the world. And I think from understanding his past traumas, he has the ability to sympathize with other people's traumas as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. But I'm going to say out. Oh,
What a beautiful
It was
conversation.
nice. It was amazing.
What a
really
beautiful
was.
conversation.
It was.
I think these are the types of conversations that we need to be having as people.
And also not titling them, sorry for cutting you.
Yeah.
Not titling them as deep. I think once you start to title them as deep, and I think this is what a lot of religions fall under this trap where they want to now go, and yes, brother, yes, I hear you.
Yeah.
When you do that, you put it on a different scale of reality, you know, different scale of everyday reality. Siyakhuluma.
Yeah.
It's normal
Yeah.
to have a
Yeah, it's
conversation,
normal.
and it's a normal conversation to
Yeah.
have. And I think that's the tone that whenever I am talking about these things, I always try to maintain that siyaringa. It's not that deep as much as it is, but naturally you are a deep person. You're just not showing it yet, or you're not comfortable with showing it yet. So you'd rather stick to the shallow, quick one-liners.
Fakeness.
I don't want to say that, but
No,
I
it
get
is
you though.
fakeness. Yeah,
it
it's
is, man. Okay.
We live in such a world where we want to seem perfect. We want to seem like my life is grand.
All in
Do you know
order.
what I'm saying? And we have forgotten that we are people first, and being people first means that we are human.
Yeah. Yeah. Singabantu.
Yes, we are human.
Yeah.
And me sharing my traumas is a way of saying you don't need to be stuck in your traumas.
Yeah.
Because we have healed from it. We have intentionally walked this journey. It's not something that just happens.
And in fact, now that you have healed from your traumas or are on the journey of healing from your traumas, it is our responsibility to be those people for the other people as well. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And I think that's one thing that I like about the conversation we had here today. Look at me going deep. The conversation that we had here today was very necessary because I think people need to understand that it's okay to talk about this. It's okay to hurt, guys. We need to stop having this thing where if we're hurting, we are hurting. Oh my goodness. You'll hurt again tomorrow. I promise you that. You'll hurt again next week as well. It shouldn't be something that we run away from. It shouldn't be something that affects our daily life, you know. And we need to have these conversations. It's about being about Putin, about Sisi, like you are to me, like I am to him.
Yeah.
We need these conversations, you know. Yeah.
So
Just don't call me after 8. After 7.
Don't call
Because how am
him
I going to
after
explain
7.
that now? You know, don't call me after 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 5. Let's put it on a 5. Yeah.
Maybe 4:30.
No, 4:30. No, 5 sangene makhaya. You know that kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
not
yeah.
after that because then it jumps into a specific realm. So far, I'm in Sekumele mina manje explain ukuthi,
Yeah.
no baby sikhuluma yazi sikhuluma ngani baby?
Yes,
Besikhuluma
it's
nge-mental
normal,
health.
you know, yeah.
You know, besikhuluma nge-mental health. Ngo-7 Sandile.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Sure. From my candle, I'd like to light yours.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say, Sandile Mahlangu, keep shining.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And from me and the team, ladies and gentlemen, keep your perspective.